Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to HNM Technologies online training. And today we are going to cover for loops and a range function, so which is very important. So loop by its meaning, something repeating again and again. Okay. So think of it like this. Think about your morning routine. Every single day, alarm rings. You brush your teeth, and fresh up, and have a breakfast. Go to college. Say same steps repeated every day. You don't think about it, it just loops. That's exactly what a for loop does in a Python. Um, in a loops, like we are going to something, write something, and repeat it as many times we need, without writing again and again. That's the for loop. Okay. Now, what we're going to cover today? What is a for loop and why we need it in a Python, especially in your programming. And range function, what is a range? The loop's best friend is a range function. And enumerate, looping over a strings and list, and simple word programs. Not just knowing if we want something to understand in a better way, we should apply in a practical way. Like in a many situations, so we need to apply this for loops or anything that we learn. Okay, learning is just not just knowing something. The real learning is something we are applying in a real time, right? So that's why we use real time, real world problems. And so in the same way, I'm going to give you some real world scenarios. You need to solve them. Okay. So without getting late, let me open. So let me open a VS Code. Yeah, this is our VS Code and module 2. In last video, we complete conditional statements. In this video, we're going to cover, yeah, see, for loop and range functions. First thing first, what is a for loop? Okay. So remember in our previous videos, we use a print function to show output. Imagine printing good morning to every student in a class, right? So for that I have to do, firstly, I'd like to solve a problem. So its problem is without loop, I'm going to print a good morning to every student, right? Good morning, student one, right? In the same way, I have to print a n number of print statements for each student. Good morning, student 2. Like this, I have to print now. Like how many lines of code are like this I have to print for about n number of each class. I have at least 60 students, right? In the same way, I have to print 60 lines like this. I'll try to first student number 4, student number 5, student number 6, 7, 8. Like this, I have to print n number of students. But here's a solution is with the for loop, right? What if I have a for loop? Have a for loop. I'm simply taking a for I in a range 5. Okay, this is my range, and I'm going to print what exactly we before you print. So I'd like to take a string, forward strings, and format string. I'm going to print good morning, student. Student or students. We already take range I and keep on counting plus 1. Yeah, this is what I want to print. See output here. We already print a student name 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again start from student. I'm going to eliminate this and with just simple 2 lines of code, I print all the output here before what we print. So good morning student 1, good morning student 2, 3, 4, 5. And what if I want 55 students? I have to take string 56. Yeah, see, 55, 56 of students. Yeah, this is how we're going to use the for loops with this complex use. Here is only one print, only one print. I use repeated 56 times. That's it. And basic syntax for this for loop. For variable in sequence. Sequence must be anything. Okay. And colon statement one, statement two, anything. How many statements we want? We'll use this that many statements here. Okay. That's not an issue. Okay. And we're going to use our first for loop. Um, and mainly one more thing is here two rules we must and surely we need to follow like in a previous video. So colon after the line mandatory and indentation is a must and should in a for loops like in a if else else right. Yeah, okay, right. Now I'm going to look through a list of names uh, look through list of names. I'm going to take student names, students. I will take to list student name Arjun and one student Priya and Karthik and I'd like to take any names Sneha. Okay, right. So this is the student names I take. So this is a list, and I used to for loop here. First student in students, students. For student in students. See if I just enter without indentation. So we need must and should follow colon and then indentation. Now I'm going to print student. Yeah, the output is see Arjun, Priya, Karthik, Sneha. Instead of that, I would like to print hello names. So for that, I would like to take a string and our variable this one. Yeah, see, let's see what is the output here. Yeah, hello Arjun, hello Priya, hello Karthik, hello Sneha. Yeah, this is the way we used to, for loop. So just see what happened here. The variable student pick up each name from the line of one by one. Arjun first, then Priya, Karthik, and so on. Sneha. Python handles this automatically. We just write a logic once. That's it. And I'd like to, I can change names. I can give names also. Ravi, and I'd like to Madhav. See output here. Hello Ravi, hello Madhav. These are the recently added names. Okay. Now, as we discussed, what is the range? Previously, we talked about range, right? Range function, right? So, in general terms, I think about a range. Range is nothing but from one to one number particular. 2 to 5 is a range, right? And 6 to 10 is one range, and 100 to 20 is a range. Like in general terms, right? So, in the same way, range is like that only. Generates a range generates a sequence for number for your loop. Most common use when you want to repeat something fixed number of times, like we use this range. Think of it like telling to Python count from here to there. So we have three different ways to use this range. So one from one, I would like to use a range, and here stop. This is the one we use to range for I in a range of 5. Okay, I'm going to print this printing variable I. Okay, so guess what's the output? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like we'll see what is output here. See 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the output. So here very important thing is range starts from 0 and gives 5 numbers. Starts from 0 and gives 5 numbers. 0 to 4. It does not include a 5. Remember in a previous video, Python always starts from a 0, counting 0, right? If we want a 5 numbers, 0 to 5, we'll use a range 6. So now in this case, it gives 5 also. It includes 5. Before number we have to include it. And this is the one way of using this range. And, and another one, range start, comma, stop. So think, what if I want a range starts from 10 to 100, or 5 to 7, or 5 to 8, or 5 to 15. I want a specific number to start, and I want a specific range to stop. In this way, we use specific start and stop, like for I and sorry, range of 1 to like 6. I want a 1 to 5 numbers. So that's why I took 1 to 6. Now I'm going to print this. Yeah. Now see what's the output. See, it not starts from 0 because we give starting point 1. It starts from 1. And we give end 6, but it won't end at 6. It ends 5 and before one number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how we get this range by using start and end. And another way is what if I want range step value? We'll see another one. Range start, stop, step value, right? In this way, we are going to use count by twos, even numbers. Twos is nothing but even numbers. What if I want even numbers? So for I in a range from I'm going to start 0 and 11 because I want 10 numbers. I used to take 11 because after 10, one number. And a step value, I want even numbers, so I'd like to take a 2 and column will get indentation and printing that I, right? So output is C 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Right? And I like to this output in a sequence, not line by line. So in this case, I'll take a pen. So this is, remember this in we discussed in previous videos. Separator and see 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. And we use another way to use the steps. What if I want a 5 table count of 5 and count by 5s? I'd like to take a for I in range of 0 to 55 I want, or a 50. In this case, I would like to take a 51 because I want 50. And the step value is a 5, so I took 5. And indentation, I'm going to print this I, right? So I want in a single line and going to write. See, 0, 5, 10, 15, here output 50. This is way we use a step value, the way we use. And the one more thing I would like to show you, something called magic. Yeah, see, negative indexing is there. We can use the negative indexing also. For I in a range 5 to 0. And the step value I'd like to take a -1, right? And an indentation. I'm going to print this in a different way. Asking, I want print or I first this way. And now by end, I would like to print Happy New Year. See what's the output here. 5, see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. What if I want to numbers count from 10? See, 10, 8, 9, 7, 6, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Yeah, see, we can use this way also. This is the range we use in, and we're going to iterate over a strings and a list. Iterating is nothing but a repeating something n number of times, repeating, and that is called iterating over a strings and a list. See. A string is just a sequence of characters. Remember in a previous video about strings, and a for loop visits each character one by one. Like I'd like to take a name Python. In this case, I want to going to take a for letters in a name and indentation. I am going to print this name and letters in a name. So letters. We'll see output. What is output? P C P Y T H O N. So this is a for loop or iterating through string. This is string, string Python. And each character print one line by line. And we'll see what if loop through the list, can through list also. I'll take simple list marks, list of marks 85, 92, and 45. 78, 30, 60. This is the main list of with the numbers, marks. I'm going to take a for mark and marks, right? Yeah. In this case, I'm going to print each mark. Yeah. 85, 92, 45, 78, 60. This is the marks. And now I'd like to do something more. And this is the marks. I would like to use a for loop here instead of just printing in this marks. For if mark is or marks and mark is greater than equal to 40, right? Just remember in the previous video what how we did. Print this as a or mark pass, right? And what else I'd like to print mark fail, right? This is the one I want to print. See output. Marks is greater than 40, all pass. Everything is pass. And what if marks less than 40? See, I'm taking 35, 29 marks. I'm adding marks into this list. And now 35 and 29 are failed. See, this is the way we used to use list. This is a list of marks, and we're going to do something more interesting, like looping over a list of strings. In this case, I would like to take subjects. Subjects are Python and English and also maths and physics, right? And one more thing, chemistry. Chemistry. These are subjects of a list. And now I'm going to looping for subjects in subjects for subject in subjects. I'd like to print I'm taking format string and here today's class. I'm printing today's class And I can't do print like class Python. Today's class is Python. Today's class English. So that's why I use for loop here. So I'm going to take a variable that our variable subject. Yeah, this is the subject I used. And now I'm going to print this and see today's class Python, English, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, right? And we're going to do this with more deeper. And let to take a student. Students, see here our students is there. Yeah, our students. Here I'm going to looping through for loop for student and students list, right? What I'm going to take is answer taking from input from user, input like f string is student, student name we can't do because I'd like to take a student and person present or not, student present. So output like I'm just giving hint yes or no. So this is the way I want to print. And if answer assigning S, if answer is S, I'd like to print student, yes, present, student present, right? And else, what if else to student not present? I'm going to print student absent, right? So for that I take f string and student absent. Yeah. So this is the what's the output here? So I need to give input is Arjun present? S. Yeah, Arjun present. Is a Priya present? No, Priya not present. Priya absent. Is Karthik present? S. Karthik present. S. Sneha absent because I gave something YESE, which is not an option. So that's why it's an option. If only if it is a S, then it will print Sneha is a present and present. No absent. Madhav is absent. So yes, here what we see input I'm taking for everything student for look student and students. Here you can see variable student in a list of students. For I took a variable name student here. Every student Arjun once, Priya once, Karthik once, Sneha, Ravi, Madhav. And again output is like a student. Okay. This is the best efficient way to use a for loop because without see repeatedly we use for each and every student in a student's list. Okay, this is the power of a for loop. So there are so many ways to use this for loop. So we'll explore every real world scenario. Then we'll get a clear clarity about this for loop. And, and before going to for in detail depth into, I already dive into this for loop, and I would like to show you something. Enumerate. So since starting we talked about this enumerate. What is enumerate? What is the importance in a for loop? Right? Why do we need this enumerate first of all? Sometimes you need the item and its position together. Positions like for 1, 2, 3, 4. Like number list. See here, students like these are students. Arjun Priya. And I would like to print instead of Arjun Priya Karthik, one Arjun indexing serial number. So this way I can print um, am taking indexing like one, start from one. For for student and students, I'm going to print formatting string. Um, I want an index, so I'd like to print I. Yeah, I. I starts from start here. We already initiated a variable called I is one. And I want students. Yeah, students like this. And I'd like to tell I is going to increase. Right. For that, I'd like to one. See output is not a students. I just want only student. Yeah. Yes. One Arjun, Priya, Karthik, Sneha, Ravi, Madhav. First one, two, three, four. Indexing. This is the one we use to get an indexing. And best way is use enumerate. Right. See how we use it as enumerate for students. And I'm taking for number, comma, student in enumerate. Yeah, enumerate student, students list. Comma and starts from one, right? Starts from where? One. Yeah, and now I'm taking indexing here and going to print formatting strings and number that we already initiated, number, and along with our students, student. Yeah. Here you can see I'm not giving a students each student name here, like Arjun first, second Priya. If I want to give print like print one dot Arjun, two dot Priya, three dot Karthik, three four dot Sneha, five dot Ravi. Like this I want to print. Instead of this, I took a number here and student. Up to 5 or 10 we can print. What if it's 1,000? What if right? This is the way we use in this case. We just simply take another variable called a number, and we enumerate a student starts from enumerate a students list. Start from one, right? Yeah, this is the one way to use. And now I would like to show you something real world scenarios. These are we'll see multiplication table. For that, I'll take a num from integer and input. I want to input from a user like enter a number, right? This is the one, and I'm going to print something visibly to get more attractive. I'd like to print in a new line. New line. I want like this. Table F none. Yeah, we'll see. For I in a range of 1 comma 11 because I want a range 1 to 10, so that's why I took 1 to 11. And so yeah, 1 to 11, and I'm going to print at a format string. Best way to format the output. And first I want a name which is taken from the user, and multiplying that multiplying, and I want I 2 and x want to do, and that equal to num multiply with the I or range 1 to 11. See, so I want to enter a number. Now I want a fourth table. See, output is like 4 twos, 4 twos 8, 4 threes 12, 4 4 16, 4 5 20. Like whatever the output I want, I can print here with the help of like this. Okay. And if I want a fifth table, yeah, you can see output. So a number is 5. We table 5, 5 ones 5, 5 twos 10, 5 threes 50. Multiplication table. We print multiplication table here. Right. This is the one real world example. So there is so many ways to use this. this way. So I'd like to give some practicals. Before that, I'd like to, yeah, yeah, this is Jenny. Before going to some real world practical examples for you, quick recap. So loop a fixed number of times for loop, like I in a range of for so print 5 times and loop with a custom start and a stop and loop with the steps and loops over a list. Uh, we use for loop in items like a list each student. For loop over string letters like a Python. See, we have use and loops with the numbers enumerate like and to give some practical questions. One is print numbers from 1 to 10 using a range. Before using range, try to print without using range and then use this range to print 1 to 9 and print all even numbers from 2 to 20 right using a range with the step value. To get a even numbers, we need to must should use a step right. And that question, yeah, I'm going to give a list. We have this list. List is our subject list, Python and Java and C and HTML and CSS, right? This is a list. Print each language with a serial number. Each subject or a language with a serial number. So you know how to use a print with a serial number. We use using enumerate, enumerate function, right? And I'd like to take you one complex one. Fourth one, take any number as a input and using a for loop input and not print. I'd like to give Multiplication table. Print multiplication table from 1 to 10 using a loop. Yeah. This is the your questions. You need to open your VS Code and show this. Okay. So learning is not just knowing. You need to go through the practical examples and practice real world scenarios. Then only you will know how. You will get a exact understanding. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for choosing HNM Technologies online training. Bye.